Enterprise TV, a tradition of truth.
All right, if you just joined us, it's still Enterprise Friday on Enterprise TV. You're welcome back. The All Progressive Congress, APC, has ruled out an automatic ticket for Governor Lucky Aiyedatiwa ahead of the November 16, 2024 governorship poll in Ondo State, Nigeria. The party's national spokesman, Felix Morka, said that the ruling party is democratic and will give everyone who desires a chance at the ticket and equal opportunity. Felix Morka spoke during an interview on Channels Television on Thursday. When asked whether the APC would give Aiyedatiwa the right of first refusal ahead of the party primaries, Morka said, quote, "We have not had that discussion, but we are a democratic party. We are a progress party. We don't give anything to people. People have to justify and earn it. It is not up to us as a party. The aspirants have to justify their suitability, their qualification, or criteria." Governor Lucky Aiyedatiwa has only spent 3 weeks in office, having been sworn in on December the 27th following the death of former Governor Rotimi Akeredolu. And still with me in the studios today to make sense of this very big conversation is Mr. Cyril Abaku. Thank you so very much, sir, for hanging on.
It's a pleasure.
Thank you. So let's go to the crux of this issue here. You know, it's sometimes a little bit highly suspect when APC comes out to say suddenly it's becoming competitive. Suddenly we can't give you the ticket for free and so on. So don't you think, like I did say with that phrase or with that word, don't you think it's suspect?
It is suspect because what the party spokesman said was a heavily loaded statement. But again, when you read everything it was he said or had to say, he did not specifically tilt the scales maliciously against the governor. I read the whole interview and I didn't see any act of malice. As a matter of fact, and I'm saying this matter of factly, Mr. Morka may not have spoken the mind of the party. Look.
But he's the spokesman of the party.
Does it matter? You see, the way our politics is run today, party politics is not coagulated.
Okay.
It's not as if maybe the parties, or maybe say they held a meeting and therefore they just went on to tell him, okay, go and say this. So what he said was not even really spectacular, except that it has the value of giving the impression that the party is saying Lucky may never get a ticket. But when you read everything he said, it's like he spoke a little to the left, right, then quickly realized that he should have also spoken, and then spoke a little to the left. He didn't stand anywhere really. So that's that.
But the big meat of what he said is tilting. Come on, it's obviously tilting towards a particular side. That is unusual coming from the APC. We all know who the APC is. Come on.
No. Let me. Okay, so for what I know,
yes,
Mr. Ganduje, party chairman, is, shall I say, a very strong ally of Governor Aiyedatiwa. Yes. So that's what I'm saying. Mr. Morkas, let me explain how politics works. When they want to, they don't even elect party escorts anymore.
Okay.
It's nomination or whatever it is. When some people who own a party, if you don't mind using the expression, when the party come together and say, okay, we're going to appoint, get new, okay, you bring a treasurer, you bring anything they zone to a particular state. You are the big man there. So people come to represent different interests in a party. Sometimes because of a lot of overlapping interests, when people who feel that they want to raise an agenda, want to now, they can just gather and say, okay, you're the one that brought this spokesman, let him go and say this. It may not be that he was speaking the interest of the party. I believe what I'm telling you.
It might not be that he's speaking the interest of the party.
But the fact is, what he said, in essence, didn't, to me, seem like he was tilting. It wasn't malicious. He really shouldn't have said it. But the way he said it now made it look like everybody have an equal opportunity. The governor, He was also clearly clever. He was clever. I mean, I can't start saying everything he said, but he was clever in a way to try to do the balancing act also. So that's why I can say the party, it may not be that he was speaking the express man of the party. If not for anything else, for the evidence I have, I know, not evidence, I know that Mr. Gambija and Lucky Aiyedatiwa so sympathetic. Yeah, so at the party level, as a matter of fact, let me even say this. You realize that a lot has happened in the past 2 days or so. The governor, 3 weeks after he was sworn into office, has not yet appointed a deputy governor.
Okay.
He has not dissolved the cabinet to form a new cabinet. Right? There is now very strong rumor that he and the SSG fell out. She's a woman, although that they fell out. She has denied the allegations. But if you saw the statement of her denial, it even looked like she was making a case against the governor.
Okay. Because
she went to great lengths to describe, to say what she didn't say, and to be giving grounds why she could have said such but didn't say it. And I'm wondering, if you want to deny, just say there's nothing like this happening. We have the best of relationships. And that's what she went to, paragraph after paragraph after paragraph, long. She was explaining, she was saying, the only thing that would have made her call him an impostor would have been XYZ, which he didn't do. And that people say she wants to bring the president to ask the governor, that she won't do that with the president. So you have such a strong relationship with the president that you can use him to ask the governor. You know, you see where I'm going. So she took time to be picking point by point and was explaining copiously. It doesn't tell. We refuse to have a cabinet reshuffle if the governor sacked her today. Those are the issues. I think that the governor is careful not to do so much in the state because he wants to first of all solidify his base outside and up there, so that when he acts in any consequence that comes up, he has a place to fall back on. That's what the governor is doing. We should be concerned about how much the governor is going to spend for the election.
Well, I think before we even get into that, let us still dig deep on the party politics in the APC.
All right.
It seems to me that APC politics is somewhat repetitive. Now, let me take you back to 2019, and I'd love you to juxtapose that. In Lagos State, when the governorship election was drawing closer, it became actually very clear that Ambode was slowly falling out with Tinubu as at the time. And there were allegations that Ambode abandoned the party structure, he put in place and dumped some loyalists in the APC, and that cost him the primaries of that. Don't you see that equally repeating? Remember, the center person in question here is same Tinubu who made it happen in Lagos State in 2019. The same Tinubu equally is the president of the country, and he has strong interest.
In 2011.
In Ondo State.
In 2011, Tinubu was caged in Lagos.
Tinubu, please help us.
He was caged in
Lagos
about it. When he said Fashola wouldn't come back for a second term. And they told him, if you don't leave him to have a second term, we will support him to take his place.
Who told him?
Party leaders, mobilizers. Even the Lagos electorate made it clear that if Tinubu wouldn't give Fashola the return ticket, they will make him join Labour Party, any of the small parties, and vote for him. When Tinubu saw the handwriting on the wall, he had to quickly backtrack and support Fashola. So
what do you think made the difference between Ambode? What do you think Ambode didn't do that Fashola did?
Great. I wouldn't call it any other name other than that Fashola played his politics very well. Because even when you deliver good governance, it is politics you're playing. Politics is about who gets what, how, and so anything you do in the political space is politics, no matter how you want to call it. Politics, not now in the negative sense of politicking, but everything you do is politics, really. That's why the philosopher said that we are political animals. So Fashion's politics was very good. Call it administration, call it leadership, call it good governance. But it came across as the right kind of politics. He spoke their language and he said, Tinubu had to backtrack. And even in the case of Ambode, At the time Tinubu put it in motion that this man was not going to get a second term, if he had changed his mind along the way,
If who had changed his mind?
Okay. There was a point where he couldn't go back anymore. Because then there was pressure, leave him now, he is working. You know but they worked in Lagos.
Of course, definitely. So no doubt about that.
So leave him now, let him. People, they told, they said, oh God, if you go back now, you'll be at sea. Since you've already put it in motion that you should not come back for second time, allow him not to go. So, and that's somebody. So in Ondo State, Tinubu is not always infallible. He's a human being. And let me tell you what makes Tinubu tick. With
the central strength he has now, especially as the president of the country.
You'll be shocked. Haven't people been winning elections through the courts and through the ballot, even under Tinubu now? Natasha Akpoti and some other people, that even the governor of Kano didn't win it through the Supreme Court. He won it, NNPP.
But we all know the underlying factor.
No, because you see, it is not just about what Tinubu wants. He knows there are some. If you don't choose every general chooses his battles rightly. If you choose your battles foolishly, you will pay for it. That's when you realize that you're not the only person with brains in any society. You see, in Ondo, what Tinubu needs more than anything else is a governor that will support him in 2027. Full stop. That's the first thing Tinubu needs. Okay. It's not, I'm sorry, it's not good governance. It's a governor that will deliver Ondo for him in 2027. Can either do that? It looks so.
So how about others, Jimo and other people who, of course, whom we all know are very great allies of the president?
The matter is that at the moment, is Jimo not a senator? He should hold down first. I'm not making a case for that. He should hold down first now. That's one. Then number two, the number two thing, Aiyedatiwa as a sitting governor has enormous powers.
Has enormous powers.
No matter how I want to look at it, of course.
With the aides of Akeredolu, who of course have been infighting with.
But that's why he will dissolve the cabinet eventually.
That is when he gains the ticket, because doing it is injurious.
Well, I mean, so he has to play his cards well, and playing his cards will involve more than. No, but he can change the deputy governor. He can appoint the deputy governor. He can do those things. If only they will even strengthen his hand more in getting the party ticket, because the party ticket won't fall to you because you don't do anything. People that are in government that are against you will be using government power to fight against you. Is that good for you? It is not. He has to get deputy governor so that delegates from those areas will vote for him massively, right? He also needs to appoint deputy governor. Now the chief of staff is in poll. The commissioner for energy, I think, is also in poll.
Okay.
So if you need to have friends around you more when you're going to battle. So he has the task of playing his politics very well. I think the real thing that we must be worried of is number one. Well, let me put a caveat. Whenever I discuss politics, I always say that my my moral side is conscious of who I am, and then my political side just thinks of politics as a science, and then I just talk. So I'm not in conflict. My moral side always has the better side of me. The governor, it will spend, depending on how much the governor is willing to spend.
So this time is about how much they hope to dole out, and not really how popular.
Who cares about popularity? Henry, people in politics, it has always been about how much you spend. The Commissioner of Finance in Ondo State currently, Wale Akentariwa, is he's being reported to say that he has the war chest to take the ticket of the governor and not for any other contender. There are about 13 or 12 of them. You just said Jimo Ibrahim. You can't have Jimo in a race and not be aware that he's in the race. Right? Then a sitting governor himself is also in the race. So these three people alone make the race a very thick one. Then how much more the other people who are also contending for it? Talking
about how much he is going to spend, I'd love us to still go back to the 2019 governorship election in Lagos State still. And you will agree with me, as at the time Ambode was the governor, of course he had all the wherewithal to pay anyone to get his place. But we would agree that the 57 local government chairmen willingly went in loyalty to Tinubu.
Sanwo-Olu.
Yes. And You can't tell me that they were paid to do all of that. It's just pure loyalty. Yes.
Okay.
Yes, of course, there might be an underlying thing going on, but as at the time the decision was made, it was first pure loyalty
to the structure, and that's who owned the structure.
Exactly. But, so don't you think that playing having it well? So
first of all, let's even face it. Ondo State, who has, of course, Akite has structure. The late governor.
Yes, definitely.
But what's the structure?
What is the structure?
Anybody can. A structure flows from a man to other men who hold the ground for him. If the man is off, so any other person can, as it were, if he's able to sit ahead of that, sit at the head of that structure and reach those men also, and if he's offering the right things and they're willing to work for him, it is. But it is not the same thing. You see, what we should really be worried about, first of all, should be the people that come to do the primaries. That's the first thing we should be worried about. The people that come to do primaries. In Lagos that year, the party leadership in Abuja sent Clement Ebri, former governor of Cross River State, to come and do the primaries in Lagos. He was a known, shall I say, political enemy of Mr. Tinubu. Okay? So when he had come to Lagos to do the primaries, as it were, it was to send jitters to Bodilon. Some people even said that Mr. Ambody had attempted to buy him over, being that he was the enemy of his enemy. All right? But see what happened. Abuja was not smart. They made Mr. Ebri to declare the results in Lagos. Okay? And then made him to declare the results at the airport on live TV. So in Abuja, they couldn't change the outcome. I can't remember which other election in which they just counted and announced at the polling center, at the coalition center, primaries, and left. When they went to Abuja, they announced a different result. So in the case of Ambody, the Bodilonites were smart enough to say, declare it on TV. Then when they got to the airport, they told them, okay, declare the result again here. With that kind of public declaration, it was difficult for them to go to Abuja and not declare, because that way you are creating anarchy and crisis and violence. People will say, no, you declared it twice in Lagos, and now in Abuja, it means you have an agenda. So the governor in Ondo must understand the theory, and that this is why his alliance with Mr. Ganduje is strategic. It must be, and again, I said it earlier, it depends how much he's going to spend. If people know him to be someone who doesn't bring money out, he is going to be man.
When you even talking about spending, where are we talking about getting this money from? Is it from the people's money that he is less than how many months old? Where exactly is he getting this more money from?
I don't know.
And can it be accountable?
I don't know.
Would they hold it against him?
I don't know.
So that is the question.
I don't know. You can ask those who have been spending where they got it from. Me, I don't know, Henry.
All right, so let's go to this issue, because we're actually trying to look at the feasibility and the chances that Aiyedatiwa might have. So a couple of years back, the former president, Buhari, signed into law a situation where the deputy governor, hopes not to, if I am right, hopes not to, vie for elections if his boss, is no more. Now, I would love to ask, looking at that, how do you think that paves way for Aiyedatiwa still in this election?
So Tinubu, the President Buhari, did sign the law, but I think now, looking at it, I think it applies more to it. The application stands with President and Vice President, because So for the fact that the course is clear for him to run, shows that the law clearly is not against his and this is the real,
And you're sure it's not going to the Supreme Court? It's not going to happen.
All of the challenges that happened at the level of you won't succeed your governor, resign and so on, and you can't run for governor on your own. Now they say he's governor. Will you tell the governor not to run? Do you have the levers the governor has? You can call the party chairman. If you call the party chairman, national party chairman, you not say, this is who I am. But in his own case, he can call the president, he can call anybody, and he can. It's about the carrots he's putting on the table. If the president is sure that this man is going to give me 2027 in Ondo State, and he's willing to play ball with them at their level, believe me, they will try everything out. It's not politics. In 24 hours, everything can change. You see, my own attitude to power is not essentially to lean on old stereotypes. It is to look at what politics starts from pragmatism. In fact, you sometimes you have to be ultra pragmatic. What is about to happen? What's about to happen? If this happens, what? And you must be ready for a lot of scenarios, like 5-6 different scenarios. Be ready for it. You ask me how you get the money.
Well, talking about scenarios, I'd love to ask you, with your experience, having, gone through lots of these things, what do you think would happen possibly if Aiyedatiwa doesn't get the ticket?
No, nothing will happen. He's a politician, he's a human being. He could do what others do, defect and go to another party, become the sole candidate. And let me see, I was talking about scenarios. Who told you that he has not already planned that in case the APC didn't give him ticket? You never know now. Unlike
Shaibu of Ondo State.
That is crying wolf and crying fowl and crying all kinds of things. No, but I mean, this is what he is governor, right? So I can tell you that he may have already planned and just been waiting. If the APC doesn't give it to him, that's assuming he is that desperate. He could go to APM, go to any other party.
And do you think he stands a chance of winning the APC?
I personally do not. Maybe within the party structure, yes, of the APC. But I personally I can't vouch for his personal popularity.
Oh, good.
I am not so certain about it. I'm not certain about it. I may be wrong, but I am not so sure about his personal popularity as a person. So he may need to work on that also. The good thing he has done is that having come into office, he has jumped on all the projects Mr. Aiyedatiwa was working on. That has sort of
to appease.
Yes. So no, not just appease. That appears to have made him accepted.
Okay.
So right now his stock is quite high among the people. But he now has to capitalize on that too. I mean, somebody I spoke with said he had a 60% chance. So if he capitalizes on it, I'm sure. I mean, in a free and fair primary process, he may win the ticket. To be honest with you, he stands the chance of winning the ticket, but politics is not always about what's free and fair. It's about who knows who and who can call who and who can manipulate what.
Finally, what do you think could be the influence of Betty Akeredolu in this whole scenario?
For now, Betty and the governor do not look to me to be on the same page. But again, that can change. This is just January 19th. That can change. So the governor has to play his politics well. It's part of what he needs to do. Reach out to those he needs to reach out to, if he knows it will work for him, and then see how he makes peace with them, reconciles, so that he comes across as a father of all. When the governor begins to play that statesmanly role, it is difficult for somebody to stand against him toe to toe. So he will need to give that some thought and see how he is able to bring people together, people from all kinds of tendencies, and say, look, our governor has passed, and under the shadow of his example, can we forge a common front and do what we would have done if he were here? And I mean, if he sells that rhetoric and that sentiment to people, I'm sure that they'll buy. But if he wants to grandstand and say he wants to impose his own image within this very short period of time, it may be counterproductive for him.
Very, very true. Well, it's really not about who takes the ticket of the APC or whatever party, what the Ondo people want. Yes, someone who would lead them, someone who would govern them well, someone who would give them the real dividends of democracy. I'd love to say thank you to Mr. Cyril Abaku for being part of our show today.
My pleasure.
Thank you so very much, sir. And to you watching, we'd love to say thank you so very much for being part of our show today. Please do well to visit our website at www.enterprisetvnews.com, and also follow, subscribe, and comment on all our social media platforms at Enterprise TV7. Subscribe to our YouTube channel also at Enterprise TV7. I am Henry Gubika. See you for yet another edition of Enterprise Friday. Bye-bye.
Enterprise TV, a tradition of truth.